Hi guys, it's Carla the Bubble Lush. If you watched my 26-week update, then you knew that 27 was going to be a two-parter. Yes, it definitely is. So, I talked about, what the week was like. That's great. Today I had a midwife appointment, and this is definitely going to be a 9 to 10 minute midwife appointment update, because it was a fun one. Okay, so, I went in there with a couple questions. I, wanted to make sure that they had my childbirth class registration all lined up and my registration for the water birth class, just kind of on the record in case I am able to do it. And both of those looked fine. And then I said, I want to read a book about childbirth. I just need to read something. And I said that I had already ordered, I think it's Ina May's Guide to Childbirth or something, and as well as her Guide to Breastfeeding. And she was very happy that I had ordered both of those. And I asked her what else she suggested. And she suggested The Birth Partner by Penny Simpkin, I think. I'm trying to read her handwriting. Holy Jesus, she's a doctor. And then, she suggested Mikkel Odent, I think. Apparently he was this obstetrician guy outside of Paris, and very minimalist approach to birthing. The birthing suite was like a mattress on the ground, and I think that was it. A midwife, that's it. So, and apparently, it was just kind of his study on getting back to, the primal approach to childbirth and having everything be really quiet and natural. I don't know. She said if I had time to check that one out. And then she also suggested that I look at either the library or at a bookstore and buy a used copy of a hypnobirthing book. Oh, I know, Apollo. It fell under the couch and it is gone forever. Anyways, buy a used version of a hypnobirthing book and start reading it and going over the visualizations and stuff like that. I asked her, why she preferred hypnobirthing over Bradley method, and she said she hadn't really been paying much attention to the Bradley method the past couple years. And the one thing she didn't really like about it is that some of the literature on the Bradley method made the mothers feel bad if they decided to go ahead and get medication, pain medication, during the course of the labor, and I guess hypnobirthing doesn't do that, so I don't know. That's what she said. So I'm going to start looking up that information, especially The Birth Partner by Penny Simpkin. She said that it was written in a third person but directed at your partner, so it was if the sentence said, you might consider doing this, she was talking, to your husband or your boyfriend or fiance or whoever is going to be your birth partner. So, yeah, that was good. I got those out of the way. What else did she say? Oh, then she gave me her doula speech, which was good, because no one has talked to me yet about a doula. And she really put up some convincing arguments for having one, and I'm glad that my husband was at this appointment and got to hear it, because I think it kind of convinced him a little bit too. She suggested a couple groups in the area that they're kind of like a group practice midwife, so there's a lot to choose from, and they certify other women. And she suggested a couple that do volunteer, or that might have a student that needs a couple more birthing experiences to reach their certification, so it would be a cheaper or free option. So I'm going to start looking into that. I think that a doula would actually be really nice, because I would appreciate having the support. I think mainly just to kind of alleviate the stress from Chris. I want him to be able to enjoy it and not have to necessarily be strong throughout the whole process. I want him to kind of experience it with me, so I think a doula would be really nice to kind of help us be a constant support instead of, the midwife coming in and out. I'll talk more about that later. So after the doula lecture was done, that was pretty painless, then she did the preeclampsia lecture, which was not as fun. I have never had great blood pressure. My whole family doesn't have great blood pressure, but I am not a dainty girl, and so I do not have great blood pressure. And while my blood pressure was fine at my last appointment and at this appointment, it has been high in the past. I should also state that I've had issues with anxiety in the past, so when I go to a doctor's appointment, I'm not exactly relaxed. So sometimes my blood pressure readings are just through the roof. But by the end of the appointment, if they took it again, I would be fine, but whatever. They do have a valid concern, I think, for preeclampsia, to be concerned about it, and I'm glad that they're monitoring it. So, you know, she was talking about the symptoms to look for and really what it is, and, you know, just kind of pointed out that it could lead to, you know, having to induce me at 30 weeks, kind of stuff like that. So, that was kind of a scary discussion, and it was nothing that I haven't thought of. Like, I know that preeclampsia is a concern. I know that gestational diabetes is a concern, but it's the first time that a doctor's like really talked to me about it. So it was not fun, and at one point I was like, if she keeps talking, I'm gonna start crying. Yeah, so of course right after that I was finally like, all right, I'm ready to pee in a cup, because I can never pee in a cup when I first get there. I don't know. So I peed in a cup, and they dipped it, and on the little, I don't know, test strip, it was somewhere between trace and 30, and so she ran it in the machine, and it came up 30, which means that I was spilling some protein, which is great, because then that even adds more fuel to the preeclampsia fire, because, I mean, elevated blood pressure and spilling protein is like preeclampsia. So, this is what I get to do on Sunday. Well, I'm doing my gestational diabetes test, the 1-hour test, on Monday, which is like the last option, the last time I can do it without having to take time off work. It has to be done by 28 weeks, and I'll be 27.5 weeks on Monday. So, doing that then, and then I'm also doing the preeclampsia baseline panel, which is, they're just going to do a blood draw and see what liver and kidney and all those levels are at, because they don't think preeclampsia is an issue right now, so they want to have something to compare it to later when it probably does become an issue. Baby. But since I was spilling protein in my urine this time, this is what I get to do. And I never knew that this was an option, so this is why I'm sharing this with you. I am, like, kind of mortified, but whatever. I have to do a 24-hour urine collection, and that consists of, from the time I wake up on Sunday, which is the day before my gestational diabetes test, until Monday morning, so 24 hours, I have to collect every single drop of urine. So I have to, like, be homebound on Sunday. And they gave me a hat. They call it a hat. It looks like this. Yes. Yes, it does. It looks like this. And you put this, like, underneath your toilet seat, and you pee in here. And then there's a little spout. See that? And you pour that in here. They gave me a jug. Oh, they didn't give me just one jug. No. They gave me 2 jugs, just in case. And when I go in for my gestational diabetes test, I have to bring that jug in with me. A jug of urine. And they're going to see how much protein I spill in a 24-hour period. So, it's kind of humiliating, but whatever. I guess it's going to get worse, right? So, yeah. So that's what I get to do. Was there anything else that we talked about there? Bonus, she didn't yell at me about my weight, which is good. Just yelling about the blood pressure. Even though blood pressure wasn't an issue today, I did good. I still got yelled at, so it's fine. This is a different midwife than I have seen before, but it's good. It's fine. I needed to hear it. Somebody needed to say it to me, and I'd rather it be her so that I don't start disliking the other midwives that I already liked. Yeah. So that is week 27 in a nutshell. Leave comments below, and I hope everyone has a great weekend, and I'll let you know how my test goes. Bye.